Hey everyone. So today we're going to tackle a question that so many of us who are interested in science ask ourselves. It's a really personal one, and it gets right to the core of what a life in discovery is actually like. So let's dig in and figure out what it really takes.
This is the big one, isn't it? Am I suited for a career in research? You've probably asked yourself this. You might love a subject, you might be great at it in class, but you're wondering, do I have the right stuff, the right personality to actually make a go of it?
Well, the good news is you don't have to guess. We're going to look at what some of the most successful scientists in the world, we're talking Nobel laureates here, have to say about it. They've actually pointed to a few key qualities that really matter.
All right, so where do we even begin? Well, time and time again, the experts all point back to one fundamental, absolutely non-negotiable quality. It's the spark. It's the thing that starts it all, a deep, driving, insatiable curiosity.
And you know, what's so great about this quote is how simple it is. Nobel laureate Steven Chu just lays it out there. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It all starts with being genuinely interested. If you don't have that real, authentic curiosity, nothing else is going to work.
And this adds another perfect layer to it. Fellow Nobel laureate Tasuku Honjo says it's not just about wanting to know stuff, it's about wanting to see it for yourself. It's this healthy dose of skepticism, the drive to actually question what's in the textbook and find out if it's really true.
And that curiosity, well, it shapes the single most important decision a researcher ever makes. See, Nobel laureate Isamu Akasaki says it's not about mastering the how, all the lab techniques and methods. That stuff comes later. The real make-or-break moment is choosing what to study. And that choice, that big question, comes directly from your own personal curiosity.
Okay, but curiosity is just the spark. Let's be real, research is tough. It's filled with dead ends and things that just don't work. So what keeps a researcher going through all of that? Well, it's the fuel that powers the engine. This powerful, unrelenting drive.
For example, get this story. A young researcher in Japan was passionate about studying manatees. So she went to every professor in her department for help. And you know what they all told her? Every single one? That's impossible. Give it up.
But just look at her response. I mean, wow. Maybe it's impossible for you, but it's not impossible for me. That right there, that is the mindset. She didn't see their impossible as a fact. She saw it as their limitation, not hers. It's this deep belief in yourself and a refusal to let other people's doubts define what you can do.
Biologist Makoto Asashima actually has a name for this feeling. He calls it a passion that surpasses passion. Think about that. It's not just a hobby or a strong interest. It's an obsession. It's the kind of drive that literally keeps you up at night, thinking about a problem that maybe people have failed to solve for decades.
So if you put all this together, you get what you could call the engine of discovery. And it's basically powered by three things. First, this intense desire to be the person who finds something no one else has ever seen. Second, an almost fanatical focus on your field. And third, just plain simple grit. The tenacity to never, ever give up.
Okay, so we've got curiosity and we've got drive. But there's one more really important piece to the puzzle. Great researchers don't just work hard, they actually think differently. Their entire goal is fundamentally different from a lot of other highly skilled professions.
This comparison is a fantastic way to understand it. Think about a doctor. Their whole job is to apply what we already know with perfect accuracy. You want certainty from your doctor, right? But a researcher's job is kind of the opposite. It's to create something new, to be creative, and to discover something that nobody knew before, even if the idea seems a bit wild at first.
So how do you know if you have that mindset? Well, Nobel laureate Shinya Yamanaka, who made one of the biggest breakthroughs in biology, by the way, he offers this really simple but powerful thought experiment. He says that, fundamentally, there are two types of people in a lab. You have the first type, who feels really happy and satisfied when an experiment works exactly the way they thought it would. And then there's the second type. They're the ones who get this jolt of excitement when the result is something totally weird, something completely unexpected. And your reaction to that surprise, Yamanaka says, is the ultimate litmus test. It's the measuring stick for whether you are truly wired to be a researcher. And he actually figured this out about himself from something that happened to him early on.
So early in his career, he was running this pretty straightforward experiment. He was testing a drug that everybody knew was supposed to raise blood pressure. But when he got the results, it did the exact opposite. It made blood pressure plummet. Now, for most people, that's a failure, a frustrating mistake. But for Yamanaka, It was a moment of pure, intense excitement.
And here it is, in his own words. That feeling he got, that thrill of seeing something nobody could explain, that was the moment he knew. He was a researcher. That unexpected result wasn't a problem. It was an open door to a brand new discovery.
So now, let's turn that question back to you. I mean, really think about it. You've worked for weeks, maybe months on an experiment. You get the data, and it's just wrong. It's the opposite of your hypothesis. What's your gut reaction in that moment? Is it crushing disappointment? Or is there a little spark of excitement, a thrill at a new mystery you get to solve?
Because ultimately, what all these incredible scientists are telling us is that the defining quality of a researcher isn't some crazy off-the-charts IQ. It's something much deeper. It's a state of mind. It's that passionate, unwavering desire to be the first person in human history to see something new. And that is the real question to ask yourself.